Hello, all my naughty nymphs, perverted pimps, and everybody else not sitting on a pillow. You've reached the flip side. All right, this is a history documentary, I guess you would say. All right, so after the federal government or the corporations destroyed and killed as many Native Americans as they could, and then put them on the Trail of Tears, where they put them into reservations. Then I think it was 1804, 1806, they passed the law to educate the natives. So they stole as many Native Americans as they could, the children, of course, and put them into boarding schools. And of course, my great-great-great-great-grandmother, Full-Blooded Creek, was put in a boarding school in Jacksboro. It was a Baptist boarding school where they raped, beat, and molested the Native American out of her. And a lot of Native American children died because they wouldn't stop their language or whatever, or et cetera, et cetera. And of course, they didn't stop that shit till, 1995 was when they decided, hey, we need to stop this shit. Well, they didn't stop that shit. I don't even know when they stopped it over in Australia with the Aboriginals. Because the white, Caucasian, fucktard piece of fucking filthy shits, especially the corporate entities that think that they're bigger, better, and above other individuals, depending on their color, depending on their creed, depending on their religion, depending on their sexuality, depending on their whatever, want to take control. And is that not fucked up? That's absolutely fucked up. So, my great-great-great-great-grandmother, Full-Blooded Creek Native American, they beat, raped, molested her, what she was, and then forced her to become Baptist. And of course, she grew up, and then she got married, and then she took that pattern. That's my second book, by the way, Patterns. And it's a 400 non-fictional book about my biographical / history of PTSD. And of course, that's the book After Sheeple, which I have not had a chance to publish. This whole corona fucking bullshit. Oh my gosh. Regardless, she pushed it onto her kids and beat the holy shit out of them. Took a whip. Took them what's that tree that has the not the leaves, but the brain at the moment, traumatic brain injury, it fucking sucks. A willow tree. She'd take a willow tree, take the little things and just beat the holy shit out of her kids or whatever, and then went on to her, children's, when they grew up, and went on to their children and went on. Of course, my mom, we had a neighbor that had a willow tree, and she went over and grabbed the willow limbs, I guess you say, and beat the holy fuck out of me one time. Of course, that was after she took a Hot Wheels track when I was a year and a half old at a yard sale, because she told me, don't tell Daddy, we're going to a yard sale. And then, I didn't mind. I sit there and rode on a fucking little whatever the fuck that was for sale or whatever, and we're in a cul-de-sac. There was no vehicles driving or whatever, but I didn't mind. I was a year and a half old, in a diaper, and that was it. She grabbed a Hot Wheels track and then slapped the holy fuck out of me with the sharp edges, the part where you roll the Hot Wheels down. And she screamed while she raised my arm up and held me almost where one foot was off the ground. You're a bad kid. Look at what you're making me do to you. And beat the holy fuck out of me from head to toe. slapped me, literally fucking sliced me open in multiple locations. And then the next day, took me to the doctor and said, if I say one fucking word, she do it again. And then she lied to the fucking doctor and said, oh, he rode his tricycle out our driveway between two vehicles, almost got hit by a truck, so I had to whip him. So in 1972, you know what the doctor said? Next time hit him twice for me. Ah! Well, you know, I've got a very high IQ, a very good listener. And I learned right then and there, fuck the adults. Fuck human beings. Well, I love all human beings. I love all life. But you can't trust individuals who lie and tell you to lie. You can't do it. You can't do it. And of course, when I went to kindergarten, I was fucking happy. I got to hang out with kids my own age. Didn't have to deal with the fucking bullies on my street that beat the holy fuck out of me, because before I went to my first, before I went to kindergarten, you know, from growing up, I think I was 1 year old, my parents bought the house on Lido over there on 428 Rolling Hills Drive. All the kids that were older than me didn't like the fact that I was bigger than them, because I was 10 pounds, 6 ounces when I was born. So I was bigger than kids 4 years older than me. So they didn't like the fact that I was bigger than them. So they bullied the holy fuck out of me, beat the fuck out of me and shit like that. I asked my mom one time, I said, help me. She said, oh, you can't fight back and you got to figure it out. So right then and there, before I even saw the movie, which I saw the movie of Jaws in a drive-in theater, before I saw that movie, I knew right then and there, she just threw me out in a fucking ocean with a bunch of sharks and said, figure it out. I knew that shit from the beginning. Figure it out. But don't fight back. So it wasn't until I got to high school, I said, you know what? When the last bully fucking shoved me in the back when I'm wearing my uncle's Vietnam jacket after Christmas, after, you know, just walking, and I'd drawn the artwork that was done on the first, when I was in high school, I drew the cover of the annual, and nobody liked it because the individuals that did the annual, they decided they wanted to do one that was blue and silver, because Alito used to be the Cowboys, and then the Cowboys got pissed off and said they were going to sue and fight and whatever Alito because they've got silver and blue. So that's when they changed to the orange and black, what are they called? The, give me a second, brain, blah, 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 the Bearcats. But regardless, everybody thought I did all that shit. I didn't do shit. Matter of fact, the cover I drew was just a little thing I drew, which I sit there and let them know, hey, if this looks good, I can do a better job. But they took what I did. It was just it was not a perfection. It was just a little sketch. But regardless, that's what it was. And of course, a bully with his buddies or whatever, after Christmas, when there was still a little bit of sleet, not sleet, but snow on the ground, whatever, in a gravel area or whatever, came up, and when I walked away from him, because that's what I did from all the bullies, as I got older, you know, I walked away. He came up, shoved me in the back. I landed on my knees, on my palms, in gravel, and right then and there, I said, you know what, I'm done with this fucking shit. So I grabbed some fucking dirt, threw it at his face, grabbed him, threw him on the fucking ground, started beating the fuck out of him, and he curled up like a little baby. He curled up like a baby. So I stopped right then and there, put my palm on him, and looked around, saw all the faces looking at me with all their mouth jawed. Because nobody's seen me do that shit before. And right then and there, I sit there and whispered to him, I said, if you ever come to me again, you ever touch me again, you ever anything again, I'm going to put you in the fucking ground. I'm going to kill you, motherfucker. Now stay the fuck away from me. And backed off. And then I went to my locker, and then the bullies on my street, one of them was an individual that his nephew was the one that in Alito slaughtered his mom and his sister and shit like that. Yeah, look that shit. Google it up. You know, he came up to my locker and said, hey, if him or his friends ever fuck with you again, you know, just let us know. You think I gave a fuck about my fucking bullies? Absolutely not. So that's when I stopped the bullies. And that's when I became a volunteer fireman. That's when I was hauling hay, and that's when I worked for a convenience store, and that's why I tutored other students how to pass their fucking classes. Because I'm an absolute give a fuck and not a fucktard. And if you don't know the difference, give a fuck, care about humanity, give a fuck about all the human beings on this earth. No matter what their creed, no matter what their fucking color is, no matter what their fucking religion choice is, no matter what their politics are. You know, those three taboos, you know, politics, religion, and sex. It does not matter. We are all unique, amazing individuals on this human earth. We all are this earth, this little blue marble on this great, big, vast, infinite, ever expansive universe. We should all get along, but unfortunately we don't. And that's when I started giving a fuck. And of course, after high school, joined the Army, had a couple of brothers of mine. We were all volunteer firemen, and they talked me into it. I was going to go to college, but regardless, you know, it didn't matter. I didn't need to go to college. I knew more than the fucking college knew. High IQ. So, they talked me into it. And of course, when I went and did my ASVAB, I downed it down, dumbed it down, because I didn't want the fucking military to tell me what they want me to do. I want to start from the very bottom. Because when you join whatever business you work for, whatever corporation you work for, you always start at the bottom. That way you get all the information you need from everybody that works for them of the truth about that corporation and about the individuals that run it, et cetera, et cetera. So you start from the bottom, get all the information you need, and you work up if you want to. If not, you get to a certain point and you just change and do something different. But regardless, you know, giving an absolute fuck about humanity is an amazing thing. Of course, I'm also yin and yang, you know, balance. You know, you got to have good, bad, whatever. So I sit there and tell everybody, you know, I got a little bit of demon in me. I got one horn sticking up. And of course, on my girlfriend, here, I'll show you if you can see her right now. She's got a stainless steel circle hanging from the mirror that you can sit there and look out as you're driving. And that's my halo. So I tell people, hey, I got a horn sticking up on one side, and I got the halo that does a little hula hoop around my horn. It's funny, but it's true. Because I yin and yang. I absolutely yin and yang. My tattoo, and I don't know if y'all have seen it or not. One of these days I'm going to show you. I know I've published the artwork that I designed to create the yin and yang, to create my tattoo. It's a hexagon with a yin yang and a triangle bisecting it and a knight sitting in the middle, because I am the harmonious, chaotic knight. I created that after I left Korea, when I was United Nations Command, Joint Security Force, in Panmunjom inside the DMZ, and MP Brazier, Infantry, Dragon Gunner, MP. The first month, I trained and learned how to be a sniper, a ranger, a Green Beret, a commando, and then became from E1, went to captain in the first month, created my own special forces. We called it the 5th Platoon. We called it Echo Force. You know, Alpha Force, Beta Force, Charlie Force. I call it Charlie Horse because they had mistakes. You got Delta Force. You know what Delta Force is. Then I created Echo Force. And I created that. And then 2 months later, after doing this, doing that, doing the other, went from captain to colonel. And then created a dark operation for 30 years. And that was 30 years ago. Just want to let y'all know I give a absolute fuck about humanity. And I can't stand fucktards. I can't stand bullies. I can't stand people that think they want to dictate, abuse, and tell other individuals that they're in control. Because we are all unique, amazing individuals on this little blue world, this great big vast infinite universe, and we all are equals, absolute, positively equals on this earth. Fuck, I gotta hold this up so you can see my eyes. We are all equals. We are all equals. We're all human beings on this little blue world, this great big vast infinite, ever expansive universe. We should all get along, but unfortunately we don't. But of course, the yin and yang. You got good, bad, right, wrong, etc., etc. You got to have balance. You have to have balance, because if you have too much good, fucks it all up. Too much bad, fucks it all up. Right now, too much bad, and it is fucking it all up. I truly love each and every one of you. Truly and deeply I do. Here, I'm going to put my spectacles on. I swear to gosh, I had better than 20/20 vision before my fucking motorcycle accident. More the front of my lobe fucking bled. Put me in a induced coma for a week and a half. My eyeballs bounced left and right. This was 2 years ago. When I turned 48 years old, I was in a coma. High five. Wham. It's all good. It's all good. I know the fuck. Oh my gosh, we're at 17-something minutes. Hey, I truly do love each and every one of you. Truly and deeply I do. Carpe diem. Peace, and as always, catch you on the flip side. Ow!